here from It's a True Story. And guess what? We have yet another amazing episode today, and I have a very special guest. It's my cousin. But that's not why he's so special. No. This is Dan Weintraub, and he is a musician, a teacher, a coach, an awesome dude, and a super creative guy. And so to start off the new year, I was thinking that the best way that we can get everybody off to an awesome start is to do a little like creativity hacking, giving you insights from two artists. Dan's really the artist. I'm like an artist appreciator person. And so I want to talk to Dan a little bit about how he rolls, because he does some really cool things. Now, one of the first cool things, and it's a little like self-promoting, is that he wrote my theme song.
I did.
Dan Weintraub, acoustic.com. We'll have links in the description. He wrote a song, and it's called No One Could Be That Happy. And It's very upbeat and exciting. And Dan, what's the inspiration about No One Could Be That Happy?
So I wrote it in 2008 because I was not happy. And I looked around, I was living in Vermont, and there are lots of very happy people who are like, I'm going skiing, and then I'm going to go kayaking. And I was like, why are you always smiling? And then I thought to myself, well, no one can be that happy. Right? And so it's all about how, like, life can be pretty dark, and I don't have a huge place in my heart for the people who aren't willing to admit, like, oh yeah, life can be really dark. I'm happy sometimes, but I'm not happy all the time.
Right.
Although, I think that place in my heart's gotten bigger.
But like the Grinch.
Yeah, exactly. like the Grinch.
Right, well, so I chose that theme song, aside from loving the music and thinking Dan is amazing, for that reason, because there's some social media irony here, right? Because here we are in YouTube land, and everyone's so happy all the time.
Thumbs up.
Yes, thumbs up to everything. We like your tweets, your Snapchat stories, your Facebook likes. You know, no one's that happy, you guys. Like, calm down. And that would bring me actually to creativity and art. Because I feel like, you know, and we'll talk more about this, that creativity and art comes from a place not of like extreme joy and passion alone, but also like really big feelings. So, for example, Dan is in town working on a really amazing project that's also completely heart-wrenching, and I just want to ask Dan about his project that he's here for.
Right. So I coach high school soccer team, girls soccer team, and teach at a prep school in New England. And this fall, some of you may have heard about an accident that occurred in northern Vermont where 5 kids were killed in a car accident, and one of those children was on my soccer team. So I'm out here recording 3 songs that I wrote for her family and about her and about the experience. So I write them acoustic, and then I come out here and I work with an incredible engineer and producer and a bunch of extraordinary musicians, and we put together 3 electric cuts that will be available for free, because there's no selling of music in my life. There's only giving away. Right. But you can always get it up on my website. The project is pretty intense. The engineer and I, we did the vocal recording, the vocal tracks on Tuesday, and we had to stop many times because we were undone. Either he would be undone trying to do the work at the mixing board, or I would start singing, and I would be completely wiped out, and I would have to stop. And I would even go a step further than what you said, Chazz. I would say that most art comes from a place of sorrow or anxiety or fear or insecurity or vulnerability. Like, that's what art, not from a place of joy.
Yeah. No, I mean, so in addition to YouTube, I have some creative projects that I do too. I've written a couple short plays, one turned into a film. It's about the anxiety of being a mother and sometimes just wanting to get lost in a park, for example. I'm working on a musical. I'm not musical and I can't sing. This is another lesson to you guys. Just because you don't necessarily know how to do something doesn't mean you shouldn't do it anyways. And so who knows about writing a play, I learned, or writing a musical, I learned. And that musical is very much inspired by a friend of mine who died of cancer, who I talked about in an earlier episode of It's a True Story. It was a ghost story episode. And so this is about creativity, hacking creativity. Now, this is all very heavy. We're having a heavy moment. We don't want to, but maybe you're going to feel inspired to go make some art now, by the way.
Yeah, but I would say, Chazz, that for me, sadness isn't heavy.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of like that place of sadness and sorrow and weepiness and pain. I don't mind being there. Like, that's as human as it gets for me.
Yes, and there's somebody with anxiety and depression, which I've also talked about on It's a True Story. I find it to be a very fertile ground for inspiration. So, speaking of inspiration, I have another thing I want to talk to Dan about. Dan does a thing, he writes a song a day. I want to know what that's all about, because he writes, now there's like 1,000 songs you've written?
So I started on January 1st, so today will be 364 days in a row.
Okay, so
and
it's
I'm
not
going
1,000
for
songs.
1,000. But I'm going for 1,000.
Going for 1,000.
Right. November of 2018.
Right.
And then I'm going to smash my guitar into bits.
That's super punk rock.
Yeah.
I love that.
Pretty excited. I'm in my 50s, so I guess I can be punk rock still.
Yeah, yeah. And so what inspired you to do a song a day? Because that's intriguing to me.
So do you want the honest answer, or do you want like the pretentious? So I'll give the honest answer.
I want the honest answer because it's the true story.
I wanted the attention. So I figured that if I wrote a song a day, that it would get me a lot of attention, and that I would get more shows to play, and people would pay attention to me. Didn't happen. So there wasn't an enormous artistic motivation for doing it. I just said, okay, I'm going to write a song a day for 1,000 days and see what kind of if it gets me more people looking at me. So I'm one of those people in the world who. There are people in the world, truths I believe,
yes,
who are either the sun or the moon. The sun are the people who shine brightly, like this young woman who died in a car accident. She was the sun, and she was the stars.
I'm gonna cry.
I'm sorry.
For real.
And I'm the moon. The moon are people who shine when other people shine on them, right? Who need the sun to shine on them. Right. So I've always been like the moon. And so getting that attention was the motivation. What's become interesting is, because I'm writing a song every day, it's become like meditation, right? So like, I don't like meditating. There are times when I have to write my song and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to write my song. It's 10 o'clock at night. It's the last. But it's become something I do every day. And so it's interesting to go back and listen to the songs I've written over the course of time. And like, since Janie died in early October, my songs have changed. My heart's gotten bigger. I write more songs about love. I write more songs about people and loving people. But, there have been times, last year where things were not as, loving, and it was darker, and the songs were darker. But I can't say, so I would make the argument that it's art, like making art is not necessarily this thing where you're intentionally, I'm going to go make art. Just fucking writing a song every day.
Yeah.
If it ends up being somewhat artistic, okay. If it doesn't, okay. But I'm just doing it, right?
Right. Well, I think that on that note, that's some really amazing advice and insight. And I want to hear all about your art because you guys are amazing. And also, by the way, no one really can be that happy. So keep that in mind when you do your thing. But here's the point. What Dan was just saying, whether you're a sun or a moon or a star or maybe just, I don't know, a little bit cold. I don't know. Go do your thing. That's the point. Just actually do it. Stop making excuses and just sit down, pick up a guitar,
right, so Carrie
pick
Fisher,
up a pen.
I saw a quote today where Carrie Fisher had said, and she passed away a couple days ago, and
Very
she
sad.
said, if you feel fear or whatever, fine, but don't have that stop you from doing stuff.
Right.
Do it anyway.
Right. Look, we're old people and we're on YouTube, so that's a lot. Maybe 50 years older, I think. All we're saying, guys, is if you're digging what we're doing here, please like us.
Because we'll get a little endorphin rush.
Fucking stand us. Right? Like us, subscribe.
We love the dopamine.
We love the dopamine. That's the whole reason, guys. That's the reason for this season. Like, subscribe. Look in the description for lots of links to all of Dan's amazing stuff, and he is amazing. Listen to the background music you're hearing right now in the True Story, because True Story, it's all Dan Weintraub, acoustic.com. Thank you, guys. You're amazing. And by the way, it's a new year, so get on it. What are you waiting for?